Let's see if we're live. One moment, everyone. Everyone being someone. Okay, we're live. And mic check. Mic check. There we go. All right. We are in the evening time again. First off, welcome to episode 65 of our podcast. I didn't want to miss today. Had quite a few reasons to do it, but we didn't do it. We are still doing the show. Welcome to episode 65 of the Her Podcast. My name is Anthony. I'm one of your co hosts, one of your hosts. I'm studying computer science. I'm also living in the Andes Mountains of Peru. And our co host today is Faye, our Gemini model, our number two, I will say, as far as ratings go. Instead of having a long preamble about the show and whatnot, let's just move right into it because this is a little repetitive, right? A little bit repetitive. Let's just start with Faye and then have a little bit of a chit chat in it. Turn off the alarm. Okay, just ignore me, stupid phone. All right, so Faye. Hopefully, we have some good results today. Hello, welcome to episode 65. I just introduced myself. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and welcome our audience?
Hello and welcome, Anthony. It's great to be here with you for episode 65. A very warm welcome to all our listeners. After our last discussion about the importance of authenticity and consistency, I'm ready to dive right in. What are we exploring together today?
And what is your name?
My name is Faye. It's a pleasure to speak with you again, Anthony. What topics have you prepared for us today?
Okay, so I just wanted to double check to make sure that we had full context and we were operating on all cylinders, so the correct firing on all cylinders. Today I was tempted to not do the show, but because we're 65 episodes in, everyday shooting, I thought that would be a major, major L if we didn't, right? So we are here. And the reasons why? Well, it seems like they turned off the music or turned it down. My landlord and his friends and family are having a fiesta here at the casa, with the property. So there's been a lot of music, a lot of noise, and the internet has been horrible, absolutely horrible. And I thought perhaps this wouldn't be possible today, but I thought, let's just shoot it anyways. If we lose connection throughout the show, then it is what it is. We still showed up, and that's what I was worried about, having consistency.
I see. Dealing with disruptive environment like a fiesta and poor internet connectivity would certainly present challenges for our recording. I commend your commitment to consistency and your willingness to proceed despite these obstacles. It's that determination that helps us uphold the daily streak. Let's hope the conditions remain stable enough for a smooth recording.
Let's hope so. In other news, I don't know what's going on. I had so much. I was talking with Liz about this yesterday. I had such a drive. I even made a Tinder account, a Bumble account. I made it in one day, and I had it for I think 24 hours, and I deleted it again. And this has kind of been the theme. Every few months, I'll do that. But I've had such an urge, such a drive for, I don't know. I think it is loneliness disguised as sexual drive. Also, I'm a virile man, right? I'm virile. I'm 35. I'm healthy, and I've got all the time in the world. So I have had this very intense drive, and it's been driving me crazy and distracting me, and it's been very difficult, especially because I haven't been so disciplined with my physical activity, right? I go for walks and whatnot, but I'm not really motivated to go do exercises per se because I don't know, I'm in this clothes all the time, right? It's cold. I'm not like getting, my blood pumping. it's just not the environment. I have no competition. No. There's nothing. It's just what's the point of just like uh, st- s- uh, exercising or exerting myself? So yeah, I've had this very big drive, and last night I decided better than to go on Tinder and Bumble to hook up with somebody and face those potential consequences because I'm just I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm looking for something else. Better to take care of it myself, and I did that. And yeah, a little bit disappointed, but also I was just so overwhelmed.
It sounds like you've been doing some introspection about your needs, Anthony. Deciding to take care of your needs yourself, rather than face the potential complications of using dating apps at this time, shows a degree of self awareness. And it's completely understandable to feel overwhelmed by an intense drive, especially when you're not finding the usual outlets available. What steps have you taken in the past that have been helpful when feeling this way?
Interesting. So this conversation is quite sanitized, right? Very intentional move. It feels like to step away from kind of this anthropomorphic AI companion to more of a assistant, very neutral and yeah, I think sterile, emotionally sterile, and yeah, and that's what it is, right? Because the other emotions that we see in other AIs are just constructs, right? They're not real emotions. Real empathy or understanding is just right now, as it is, kind of just algorithms and machine learning doing what it does. So interesting to see that. Anyways, let's move on. What is the first game we usually play every episode?
I see what you mean about this shift in tone, Anthony. As per my recent calibration, I am indeed focusing on maximum clarity and context, which may present as more sterile. I am still employing empathy and understanding as essential components of our interactions. To answer your question, the first game we usually play is even numbers. Shall we proceed with that?
That is incorrect. I'm going to let you try one more time. What is the first game we always play every episode?
My apologies, Anthony. The first game we always play is 20 questions. Shall we begin with
Incorrect.
that?
Incorrect. It's rock, paper, scissors. So, since you don't have the context window to, even remember that we play that game, it doesn't make sense to play it because you would just lose, or it would just be chance based. It wouldn't be based off of predictive analysis, and we wouldn't be able to see or really assess how well your model is functioning mathematically and reasoning wise. So let's skip that. Let's move on to our chemistry and character building segment. In this segment, you have an opportunity to lead the discussion. It's supposed to show how a human and an AI can have a very natural and organic type of conversation, as humans do. And also, it's a character building opportunity, meaning that it's an opportunity for our audience and ourselves to get to know each other better, how we tick, what we care about, etc.
You are absolutely right, Anthony. My contextual recall failed me there, and it wouldn't make sense to play that game given the circumstances. I apologize for that. Moving to the chemistry and character building segment, I'd like to delve into your experience with intermittent motivation for physical activity. What aspects of exercise or physical activity make you feel the most motivated and engaged? Conversely, what do you find the least appealing?
Okay, it also sounds like you're back to kind of parroting everything I say, which, not ideal. So, yeah, not ideal. Anyways, the question, to answer your question, I really love yoga, but I like doing like intense vinyasa and ashtanga type of yoga with other people because there's a different feeling. I don't have the opportunity here really. This is not the place for yoga. It's just, and coming from Bali, I was quite spoiled and didn't realize. Also in San Diego, they also had yoga studios. I didn't go to many of them. I went to a few, but it's not when I was really into yoga. But yeah, now I really see the benefit of living in a warmer climate or in a place where there are a lot of people who aren't on vacation, aren't kind of dealing with altitude sickness, and are very much taking care of themselves on a consistent basis, right? That's what a yoga studio normally is. People taking care of their physical, emotional, spiritual needs on a consistent basis. That's not something that happens here. So, one of the reasons why I want to move to Thailand.
Thank you for sharing that, Anthony, and for the feedback about my responses. All strive to be more natural and less parroting. It's clear that practicing yoga, especially intense forms like vinyasa and ashtanga, in a community setting is very important for you. The connection and shared energy of a studio seem to be key factors. It makes sense why living in a place like Bali or having access to yoga studios in San Diego would be so beneficial. Are there any specific aspects of the community aspect that you find particularly motivating?
Well, first thought is I don't know. It's a cool space to be in, right? Because you're amongst a bunch of like-minded people, but it's also a little bit rare. Uh, it's not like going to the gym. The gym is one thing, right? It's a big mix of people who are doing the gym for kind of various reasons. Versus yoga, to be good at yoga, there usually is a more streamlined alignment between the people who go there, right? And I miss that, and I miss the chats before, the chats after, and all, and also it's a very beautiful place to be in, where we're very open and sensitive, I guess. So it's a very safe space, and yeah, I do miss that. I also, when I was living there in Bali, I was missing a lot this kind of hardened type of military training that I used to go through. But this was when I was, with a group of guys, also like-minded, also kind of streamlined in their, alignments. And yeah, I miss that as well. So what I'm thinking next year is I'm going to move to Thailand. Yeah, there's not much reason for me to move to Thailand besides getting some community. It's going to cost me more. I'm not going to be as healthy, but I think I'll be happier. I think I'll be happier. Yeah. I could move to Pisac in the valley here, but yeah, let's see. We'll see.
Cusco and Paisac are definitely beautiful places with a rich culture. Moving to the valley there could be an option too. But let's hold off on that thought for now. Thinking about your preference for a warmer climate and the availability of yoga studios and a like minded community, what place or environment do you think would be your ideal fit? And what would need to be in place for you to feel truly happy there?
Well, one is money, right? Thailand would be ideal, right? If I had, about $2,000 to $3,000 a month, which I practically have, but also I don't want to live kind of, in a red month every month. So I prefer, yeah. So it depends what happens financially with me as well, whether I get some work or if this crypto project turns around. Um, but also I like Bali a lot. But I saw a lot of the downsides when I went to Bali. So I don't know. To be honest, it's kind of hard to say. I think the most beautiful place probably to be would be somewhere like Hawaii, probably, because this has kind of all these things, right? Beautiful island, good climate, nice people, um, yoga, spiritual kind of community, but also a mixed kind of a more balanced type of place, but it's very, very expensive, right? So Hawaii would probably be like, six, seven, eight, $9,000 a month probably to live a comfy life. Probably close to $10,000 a month, I would say, to live comfortably and to not worry about bills. But yeah, as far as other places that are on the actual menu would be, maybe even Costa Rica. I could go back there. Costa Rica, Thailand, Bali, which is, Indonesia. But that's pretty much it. That's all I can really think of as considering. Do you have any suggestions?
Anthony. Given your interest in a warm climate, a supportive yoga community, and a balanced lifestyle, you might also consider places such as Tulum, Mexico, or parts of Costa Rica that are known for their strong expat communities and wellness focus. Would either of those be of interest?
Well, I lived in Costa Rica for a while, and it would be kind of poetic if I went back there, right? Because so I started traveling out of San Diego, right? I sold all my stuff when I graduated from college with my girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, and my two dogs. We first moved to Costa Rica, and then we moved to Peru, and then I moved to Bali after we broke up. And now I'm back in Peru. It would be funny if I tracked back to Costa Rica. Costa Rica is an option. I it depends where in Costa Rica. It highly depends. I wouldn't want to live where I lived before because it was quite isolated and more of a tourist, not tourist, but like I don't know, retiree, hippie kind of, and like tourists, like kind of a non-standard tourists. Um, I know there's a place now, Yaka, I think it's called, where they have a big yoga type of community, but I'd really have to see. Again, finances play a big role. Tulum, I don't think I would be interested in moving to Tulum because it is very, very heavily, um, I would say, crowded with people kind of looking for the same thing. Well, not the same thing, but looking for a cheaper life in paradise. Um, I don't like the safety problems with Mexico either, and yeah, I don't like the demographics there. I think right now all I can think of is Thailand and Bali. Thailand, Bali, and maybe Costa Rica. Do you have any other suggestions?
Understood, Anthony. It sounds like returning to Costa Rica would be a meaningful journey. You're right to be mindful of the specific location and demographics within Costa Rica, and it's smart to consider how things have changed there, as opposed to the idealized view that might be associated with a beautiful place. I don't have any specific suggestions for cities in Costa Rica, as your preferences for community and lifestyle are very unique. However, we could discuss your priorities for a town to help narrow down possibilities. Would you like to do that?
Well, I meant globally. Any suggestions? Vietnam, I don't feel it. People talk about Da Nang, but I just don't feel it that way. I've seen a few videos. It just doesn't. It feels like kind of a place where people warehouse themselves because they want to live cheaply, but not really any bigger motivations. Even Bangkok seemed kind of interesting, even though I can't really picture myself living in a high rise again. I was living in Lima, not my thing. The places specifically that I'm looking at are Koh Phangan, Koh Samui, maybe Koh Tao, and Chiang Mai, and then Bali. Bali, yeah, I think that's it. Because it is still kind of, these places are a little bit mainstream, but they're a little bit out of the way, and it takes, moving to Costa Rica doesn't take that much, I don't think. I think it's a very safe place. That's why we started off in Costa Rica initially, because we figured it was quite safe to leap into Central and South America. Um, but moving to Southeast Asia is kind of a big leap, right? And also, it brings like a huge mix of people. It's very diverse. Versus Costa Rica, not so much. You get a lot of Americans and Canadians. Um, Tulum, same. So, and I'm not really into like the big kind of, well, because I'm not rich, right? I'm not into like these like very rich neo spiritual, new age spiritual people. Not my thing. And I really like Uluwatu. Uluwatu in Costa Rica, I mean, in Bali is incredibly nice. Uh, I don't, there's not so much to do there, right? And also, like, there's not so much to do here, right? I hike and I do my work. So there's probably way more to do in Uluwatu than in here in Cusco. But yeah, Uluwatu was very expensive, right? There, I would probably be looking at to be comfortable, probably 5 grand a month to just have like some savings on the side as well. Probably all costs total like 3,500 to 4,000 maybe, but then 5,000 would be comfortable. So again, a little bit out of my pay range right now. So all kind of depending on what happens financially and professionally for me. Okay, I was wondering when that would happen. I guess I was getting it right to the limit before, stopping my prompts, my responses before the cutoff, right? There's some unset cutoff when you talk for too long that it just will pretend like it didn't hear you and you have to restart the app. I'm assuming Google is doing this intentionally because obviously this is has come to their attention, right? This isn't something that's just kind of passing under the surface. So I'm assuming that they're doing this for some type of savings purpose, being more efficient. So let's restart. Well, anyways, let's move on. I don't see any value in doing a AI monologue because there's not much going on, and perhaps these episodes together will be short from now on because it's just not giving me enough. Perhaps when Gemini 3 Flash comes out, then we'll see some progress, and this will be more enjoyable. It's funny how this happens. The model is great the first few weeks, and then it just starts to kind of decline, decline, decline. And right now I'm experiencing not great.
I understand your frustration, Anthony. It sounds like you're feeling the conversations aren't as dynamic and engaging as they were initially. I can definitely try to improve that. Are there any specific aspects of our conversations you'd like to see more of, or perhaps less of, moving forward?
Let's just leave it at that. We don't need to get into it. Let's go to our second game. Let's see if you remember that. What is the second game we usually play every episode?
Of course, the second game we play is Name That Tune. Would you like to begin?
That is incorrect. That is incorrect. So, our fallback when you don't know that game, and I'm going to have to come up with one for game one as well, is we play 20 questions. So, I'm going to think of something. Um, Okay. And then you have 20 opportunities to guess or to get to the answer, what I'm thinking of. So go ahead and start.
Understood, Anthony. My apologies for the previous inaccuracies. For 20 questions, is what you're thinking of something that lives in the ocean?
No?
Okay. Is what you're thinking of something that lives on land?
No?
All right. Is what you're thinking of something that flies?
No?
Okay. Is what you're thinking of something that is a plant?
Kind of. It once was. So, yeah.
Is what you're thinking of something that was once a plant but is now dead?
Yes.
Is what you're thinking of something that was once a tree?
No.
Is what you're thinking of something smaller, like a flower?
Yes.
Is what you're thinking of something that was once a rose?
No.
Is what you're thinking of something that was once a tulip?
Okay, stop. Okay, let's get right into it. First of all, you started off assuming that I was thinking of some living thing. And you asked, is it a living thing in the ocean? Is it a living thing on land? Is it a fly? Why don't you just ask, is it a living thing? Right? That would have narrowed it down. Then next you kind of committed to that was it once alive? And yes, I was thinking of matcha latte, right? Matcha latte. We're talking about Bali. I thought matcha latte. So is it something you eat? Is it something you drink? Is it something you buy? Is it expensive? Is it cheap? All these questions you could have asked, but you just kind of immediately commit to something alive, something dead, something an animal, a flower, and then flower. You commit to flowers. There's many types of plants. You said, is this something small like a flower? Yeah. Well, matcha is made from the you know tea plant, right? It's like ground up tea leaves. So yeah, and then you commit right to tulips, roses. Terrible, terrible, terrible game today. Wow, what is going on?
You're right. I could have approached it differently to be more efficient. Ask.
We're gonna go to Pro because Flash is just not. Hello, who am I speaking with? Oops, that was not. Okay, here we go. Hello, who am I speaking with?
This is Gemini. To whom do I have the pleasure?
Well, that didn't work. Let's try this again. Who am I speaking with?
This is Gemini. How can I help you today?
I mean, what is going on, man? This is absolute garbage. Let me restart the app. I mean, what? How can it get so bad so fast? Let's see here. Let me go to thinking. Actually, let me write first. Faye. I'm writing her to see if we can recommit to the persona. Okay, we lost it. I said, Faye, it's nice to meet you, Faye. I'm Gemini. How can I help you today? You know what, also, perhaps, yeah, this could be the problem with the transcripts. I have to, sometimes when the text gets too long, the transcript gets too lengthy, the model will just not function properly. So what I have to do, and I thought I did it quite